season. It's their first home playoff loss since the 2012 AFC title tilt versus Baltimore. And it's Tom Brady's first career playoff game with 0 touchdowns and a pick six. So what does the future hold for TB12? Who knows? Let's have a look.
Just very grateful for, the experience of playing this year for this team, this organization, and over the course of my career too. So I appreciate it. I hope I have always, tried to do the right thing out there. And, who knows what the future holds. So we'll leave it at that.
Bill, do you anticipate the Patriots will bring back Tom Brady for the 2020 season?
Right now, we just finished the game, so we're focused on this game, okay? And really?
That's his decision to make, but, one thing I remember is the work ethic, him coming to work every day and pushing himself no matter how great he is, he still pushed himself and wanted to be great each and every day, and it rubbed off on everybody, rubbed off on me, so I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Do you have a sense of whether you'll be back with the Patriots in 2020, and do you want to be back with the Patriots in 2020?
I love the Patriots. I mean, they obviously, they got it's the greatest organization, and, playing for Mr. Kraft all these years, and for Coach Belichick, I mean, there's nobody who's had a better career, I would say, than me, just being with them. So I'm very blessed, and I don't know what the future looks like, and I'm not going to predict it. So I wish we'd have won tonight, and wish we'd done a lot of things better over the course of the season, but we just didn't get the job done.
John, I know that you keep saying that you don't know what's going to happen in the future. Is there any possibility that you would retire after this last season?
I would say it's pretty unlikely, but yeah, hopefully unlikely.
Well, Mr. Brady, he called the Patriots the greatest organization in the National Football League, and I think there's little debate that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever touch a football in the history of the league. You see, in wins first, Super Bowl W's first, passing yards, passing touchdowns, trails only, of course, Drew Brees. So we will see what the future holds. And with that, let's go back to Foxborough. Our New England Patriots reporter here for NFL Network, Mike Giardi, here with the very latest. And Mike, we heard all the questions, Tom Brady being peppered with all that retirement talk. What does the future hold? So what more can you tell us about the future of TB12?
Well, I think he made it pretty clear there that he's not ready to step away from this. And I think you saw moments again tonight where the arm strength and the footwork, and he makes all the throws that you've seen Tom Brady make in the past. And obviously it didn't come together for this team like they would have liked, 4 and 5 down the stretch, including the playoff game. And yeah, some of that falls on the quarterback and some of that falls on the pieces that were assembled around him. And even defensively, they were unable to do some things there late in the year. But look, it's going to be interesting because he's never been in this spot before, right? He's in the last year of his contract. He told them when they redid his deal in August, he did not want the franchise tag or the transition tag. So that's out. That was written into the contract. So March 17th is the big day. He could become a free agent if they don't work out an extension there. And I just look at it from the Patriots' perspective. They haven't been willing to give him that multi-year extension that he wanted in each of the last 2 seasons. I don't know why anyone would think that that would be forthcoming unless the team had plenty of outs and was well protected for a second year if they were to go that way.
So uncertainty hanging over Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Mike Giardi right off of Interstate 95 with the very latest on the future of Tom Brady. And if this is his swan song, sounds like a job for players only. Fellas, what do you say?
Well, Cole, what we're going to try and figure out is looking through the, reading between the lines, it doesn't sound like he's going to be a New England Patriot. That's kind of what I'm seeing. If they wanted that to happen, I feel like they wouldn't have got to this point. So what does the future hold as you look at it for Tom Brady, Thomas?
You can't really predict. Like he said, you really can't predict where he's going to play, but we can rest assured that he's going to play somewhere. He's too competitive to walk away from the game for it to end the way that it ended tonight.
With the pick six and losing the football game, yeah.
And I think when you see Tom Brady and you think about what he's capable of doing, he still has that arm strength. He's still one of the smartest quarterbacks you're ever going to face. You can tell that he puts a lot of time into his craft and studying. We all know how much time he spends in taking care of his body. So he's going to be a guy that's going to be really good for a team next year. And honestly, We say that it's not going to be the Patriots, but I can't see him putting on another uniform. I think they'll get it worked out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, Joe. How do you see it shaking out?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's speculating on his future. There's going to be a lot of changes probably in New England this season, and starting probably with offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, who likely, I would think, is going to take that head coaching gig somewhere with one of those openings. And Tom Brady's going to have to ask himself a lot of questions. If New England hasn't been willing to commit to him up until this point, why would they commit to him for a multi-year deal at the end of the season? Maybe for New England, it's time for them to hit the reset button. Start heading in a little bit of a different direction with new offensive philosophy, with new personnel. And Brady's as competitive as he is, he's also very thoughtful, and he's a realist. And he understands that every year you play makes it harder to have that fairy tale ending that you want because although his skills have not slipped as much as people wanted to say that they did, there was a little bit of a slippage this year, especially towards the end of the season, and as far as the sharpness that we're used to seeing with his throws. And next year, you can probably expect a little more slippage. And so that happy fairy tale ending where he walks off with the Super Bowl trophy becomes more difficult. And so I think he's probably going to factor all those things into his decision. And maybe if he has the right situation to go somewhere else, I could see him maybe going to a good situation like maybe an LA Chargers where they've got a pretty good team already built around him. He can get a little bit closer to maybe where he grew up in California and maybe find a good situation, something like that. But I don't think he wants to go somewhere else and play for a team that's struggling or that's trying to make a name for himself with a new coach and a bunch of new offensive pieces that he's not familiar with, because that could be even a worse situation than this. What happens if they go 7-9? You know, there's a lot of possible outcomes. Coming back doesn't always necessarily mean that he's going to have a great season.
Well, it has really been the perfect storm in New England for both Tom Brady and the Patriots, Bill Belichick. I mean, those guys coming together, greatest quarterback of all time, possibly the greatest coach of all time. I mean, that's a pretty nice union. So, like you said, it has to be the perfect situation. And if it's not in New England and Josh McDaniels moves on, you know, what's that chemistry going to be like? Because we see Tom and Josh sitting right next to each other, kind of working through things like they have the last 2 decades, really. Maybe plus or minus a year or two. So that's going to be interesting as well. But he is very competitive. I think that he does want to keep playing. So I guess we'll just stay tuned to the tube and see what happens. But that's how we got it settled. I don't think he's going to hang it up anytime soon. I know he's competitive. We'll see what